Greetings and welcome back to the gallery. I am your curator and host, Robert Cooper. Now I know it's been a while since I posted the last video, and the reason for that was for the past 2 months I was working for the census. After a day full of walking up and down the street, counting people, when I got back home I was just dead dog tired. But now that's finished and I can get back to posting more videos. And for this video, I want to talk about 2020. 2020 has been a year unlike any we have seen or anybody has seen in almost a century. Starting with the C-word pandemic, then it was followed by the never-ending struggle against police brutality of black people, and then culminating with this being an election year. There was no way that as a photographer you were not affected by this year. This year either hurt your business or it made you more creative because you had to work with what you had to make something out of nothing. For this video, I spoke to 2 photographers, Raymond Shaw from out of Hartford, Connecticut, and Kisha Bari, who lives between New York City and Albany, New York, about how 2020 affected their photography. So sit back, relax, and listen to what the 2 of them have to say about their year.
My name is Raymond Shaw, and from Hartford, Connecticut, and I shoot street photography, live events, basically.
My name is Kisha Bari. I am based in New York City and currently moonlighting in the Capital District of New York. And my focus of photography is primarily social justice. Portraiture, but have done many different types of photography over the years. So mix it up, make it interesting. 2020 has been a crazy year. So we came into 2020 with my first child being 6 months old. So I'm still getting used to being a new mother, used to being a parent. So baby's going through a lot of changes. We also couldn't work from home in our 1-bedroom apartment in Queens, so we shifted our lives to Albany, where there's no childcare, there's no, for me, so my career, all of the work that I should be doing also during this time has come to a full stop because I need to take care of my family first. So that's been very hard for me because I'm used to being able to do both, like taking care of my family and using my work to uplift others. But it's I'm in a strange city that I don't know very well, and it's frustrating. I am eternally frustrated with the current administration and that we could have been doing a lot better by now.
The streets are pretty dead. I mean, there's not much to shoot. Not many people to shoot on the streets nowadays. People are laid off or unemployed, and so there's not really very many people on the streets to photograph. And I would more or less describe my style as street portraitures rather than street photography, because I will walk up to a person. If somebody catches my attention, a muse catches my attention, I'll walk up to the person and say, hey, look, there's something about you that's special. Do you mind if I take your photograph? And it could be the way the light is hitting that person or just features within that person. And I'll ask their permission to take their portrait. So it's not like I'm doing a candid photograph that's all artsy and stuff like that. It's more about that person. Features for a person's face, that's what catches my attention first. And if they have a mask on, it's kind of like everybody looks the same. Kind of, after 5-10 pictures with people with masks on, it's kind of like, nothing really stands out. So I see something in a person's face, their hair, their nose, their skin complexion, that sort of thing. So it's been difficult in terms of that. I was afraid to approach people, fearing, catching something and not knowing how exactly contagious this disease was. So I shot people with masks on, and part of my thing was talking to people. I love to find somebody that catches my eye and then engage in a conversation with the person. But with the COVID-19 pandemic going on, it's like, okay, well, you want to get too close to somebody, you don't want to get within 6 feet of somebody. So that made it difficult to engage in a conversation with somebody. I found out that most conversations take place a little bit within 6 feet. So that's been a little bit difficult. I've been still doing it, but that's been a big game changer in terms of me shooting street portraits. And I thought that by me wearing a mask and approaching them, and them wearing a mask, and I asked to take their photograph, I thought that would be a difficult thing, but it's just the opposite. Most people are like, yeah, I mind if you take a picture. So it's kind of pretty easy. I think 9 out of 10 people will say, yeah, I have no problem if you take my picture.
When the pandemic first hit the world, there was a call out for an interest in women photographers as part of the collective Women Photograph, if they would be interested in documenting their home life and their quarantine life as part of a worldwide group project. And it's called The Journal. I think it's the Journal_collective on Instagram. And over 400 women photographers from all around the world sort of wanted to contribute their imagery, and so it's been a really interesting journey with other women from all over the world, and we're also in touch, so we have Zoom calls about the project, and where we're all at individually, and also because all of our governments are different and our countries have handled things differently. It's been a really interesting project to be part of. So that work is sort of ongoing, just documenting that.
After George Floyd was killed, there was a protest, I think, every day for maybe 7 or 8 days in a row. And then after that, they kind of trailed off a little bit, maybe just on the weekends. And I pretty much have attended every one in Hartford, and I attended one in New Britain. I'm there to be a documentarian of what's going on, and that's pretty much it. As a black man, I'm caught up in the emotion of what's going on because I resonate, with the stories they're telling. It could have been me, could have been someone in my family, but I'm still shooting. So I know how important it is for down the road these pictures to be preserved, and down the line someone else sees these pictures and okay, this is what was going on in 2020. People are upset. They're upset about Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, everybody. And I hear these young people getting up behind the mic and giving their feelings of things that they've been through, and they're angry, they're upset, they're emotional, and they want changes. They want something done. They want to see this happening over and over and over again, and nothing being done. And they want people to react. They want results. I think it's huge. I mean, I could look at a picture from the 70s or 60s, right now, and I get emotional by looking at pictures then. So I think it's a huge deal right now. And as I'm out there, I don't see many people that look like us that are documenting what's going on.
Photography can definitely be a form of activism. I think that at this particular point in our lives in the US, we need to use our photography as a form of activism. We need to uplift the issues of injustice that people are suffering, because without us as witnesses, then people are dying. Literally, people are dying, and if we don't use our lenses to make the rest of the world who are blind or complacent or comfortable, a little uncomfortable, so that they are maybe moved to do something to help other people, to help humanity as a whole, then I think we have a duty to use our lenses to help other people. Otherwise, you're just serving yourself, right?
Yes.
Being able to attend and photograph some of the Black Lives Matter in the Capital District has been important to me. I took photos because that's what I think I do, and I wanted to capture the feeling and the emotion of it. But I also I needed to attend that Black Lives Matter protest, all of them. I needed to, for me, because I believe that I need to be there and be another body, in that protest. So that work is still is part of my archive of imagery that I will keep on hand, and it is history, and I collect. That's another thing. I collect history. I collect documentation of things. I'm the photographer for the Women's March, and have been since the very beginning, 2017. So those images to me of the planning before the Women's March were like historical images, which I never planned for them to go anywhere in particular when I took photos of them, but they've become, they're in a book, and they were exhibited at Photoville, they're there. It's incredibly difficult to be at a march for a march that my heart is in, and to photograph. My photography definitely suffers because I don't necessarily want to experience the entire thing through a rectangular perspective through my viewfinder. I feel like that's not the whole experience, and so I definitely come home with a lot less images.
I get friends that respond in different states about the images they see that I've taken, that other people have taken. I see pictures that I have friends in DC who are photographers. I see the image that they have, and I know what's going on through their images, and I think it has a huge impact. Sometimes my images get published. I have a gallery down the street, so eventually my images will be printed, and everybody will be able to see the images at some point this year.
I think my goal is to uplift other people's stories. What did they say? That you can never hate somebody whose story you know. So if we can share stories about each other's lives, then there might be a little bit more love in the world. I guess that's a roundabout way of, you might need to edit all of that.
I give thanks to each and every last one of you who have tuned into this episode. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you will be aware of when I upload another video. Also, please make sure you go to my website, robertcoopermedia.com, for all things Robert Cooper. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at rcooperphotography. Also, give Kisha and Raymond a follow on Instagram. Their names will be listed at the end of this video. Until the next time, bless and love.